Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Friday edition of the Computer America Show. That's right, it's Friday. We made it, and we have
4 minutes until showtime.
we have a great show planned for you. Ralph Bond is back from Ireland. That's right, and he's here. Okay, and he's in the Google Hangouts, and we're going to be starting the show with Ralph. And we got a lot of fun things that he's discovered, and we're going to be talking about on both hours of the show. Of course, we have our show reminder winner of the week coming up, but we also have a couple of emails, feedbacks, and so it's going to be a really good show, kind of all over the road, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So sit back, relax. We'll be starting the show in about 3 minutes. Okay. So let's see. Sure, it's a lot of. We got the cheat notes. Yep. Okay.
All over the road sounds like my vacation in Ireland.
Yeah.
So, did you like it over there?
Oh yeah, it was fascinating. I mean, it was a bucket list thing I needed to do, and I'm glad I did it and got up to Northern Ireland, to the town where some of my ancestors came from. It was very cool.
That was my next question. Like, how far back is your ancestry there? Are you like, a couple generations removed?
The great grandfather emigrated to the United States from Cookstown, Northern Ireland. So, yeah.
Didn't have that transcendental experience where, like, you walk into like a pub or something like that. It's like, yes, this feels right. This feels right.
Well, pubs and beer felt completely natural to me, especially being from Oregon. There was a lot about it that was like Oregon, come to think of it.
I actually really wouldn't mind going either. I don't know when I'd get to go, but I mean, if it's on your bucket list, it's definitely on mine.
Summer.
Really?
Like, don't go in the high traffic time. Go spring or fall. Stay away from the heavy tourist time. This was the only time of year we could go with our family work schedules. But boy, it'd be so much nicer without all the crowds.
So off season.
Yeah, definitely want to do that.
What is off season there? You're saying the springtime?
Spring or fall, I think would be perfect.
I would assume the winters would be pretty brutal there.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't know. I don't know if they're intense. I don't think they're too intense, but definitely spring or fall is what the people, the bed and breakfast owners were saying. Oh, if you come, that's perfect time.
Good to know.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And rent the smallest car, physically smallest car you can possibly find, because some of the country roads are astonishingly narrow and terrifying.
Well, I mean, let's see. Most roads in America, before they hit their boom, were all cattle trails. So I'm assuming in Ireland, most of them are probably still cattle trails.
They're paved over cattle trails. No, sheep. Sheep
trails.
Even smaller.
4 minutes until showtime.
Did you look at that Tessera Tech website that I sent you, Ben, the link?
I did. They only make peripherals?
Yeah, I think that's what they're. But for games, they're heavily into games.
Noticed.
Well, anyway, they wanna do a sponsorship, so I'm gonna be talking to them for Gamer Tuesday. As your mom says, we may have more than one Gamer Tuesday a month. Okay, 30 seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
All right, Ben. And it's... What is it?
Friday!
It's Friday! Yes, we made it. Friday. Another week put aside and down the tubes, and what else do you want to say?
I think we used it well.
I know, another week. Well done, exactly, and put into the filing cabinet of things that we've accomplished. And yes, it is. And of course, that means it being Friday, we're going to have a show reminder winner of the week announced. That's right. So we're going to have a show reminder, and we got some feedback from last night's show on our All Linux show, and I do want to read that. It was very interesting, and I want to announce that as well. And a couple other announcements. So I guess let's just. If there's anything you want to mention before we get started, Ben? I mean, any good movies coming out that we should mention or anything?
Oh, good question. I wasn't even thinking movies. No, actually, let me go see what's looking up. You do your thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get started for our guest tonight, okay? And we'll bring him in on this. All right. All right. Yeah. He's back. Bond is back, and we've got him. It's all Bond on tonight's show. Yes, it's Ralph Bond. Ralph Bond is a correspondent for the Computer America show. He's the author of Family Computer Fun, Digital Ideas Using Your Photos, Movies and Music by Q Publishing. He's also the co-author of the PC Dad's Guide to Becoming a Computer Smart Parent by Dell Publishing. Ralph was Intel's Consumer Education Manager for more than 10 years, and for nearly the past 7 years, he's been part of Autodesk's communications team, and he's just back from Ireland. Ralph, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I am great and very glad to be back in the United States. Nothing against Ireland. It was wonderful. But filling up the gas tank before we returned the rental car was $180 US when we got out our calculator. $180.
Wow.
I mean, fuel over there, guys, is astronomically expensive.
What is it a gallon?
I mean,
what, $6, $7, $8?
You know, I don't know. My wife said she'd figure it out when we got home. We haven't gotten around to it, but she did figure it out on the spot when we filled up the tank. It was a Ford. I don't know what model it was. It was a 4-door.
5-gallon tank on the.
No, I can tell you this much. It was. How about here? You go. Now you've got your math problem. It's 50 liters approximately to fill the tank.
How
50
many gallons?
liters.
How many gallons?
And I don't. Is it like 4 liters to a gallon? I don't remember. But it came out to about $180 US. So there you go. I mean, unbelievable.
You got to figure out how many miles per. How many? What is it?
About $5.
Yeah, maybe.
About $5 a gallon.
Yeah.
About $5 a gallon. Yeah, that sounds about. And it was a diesel car. It was a very nice car. We think it got pretty good mileage, all that good stuff. But, the cost of... Oh, I'll give you another thing. Here, I should be telling you about the beautiful cliffs of Moore and all the...
But the gas prices...
The beautiful scenery. Wait a minute. I got to get it off my chest. Fish and chips. Fish and chips, guys. Just a few bits of fish and some French fries, which, of course, are called chips over there. $21.75 just for the... In U.S. dollars. And in a nice place, but not exceptionally nice. And the service was good. The people were very friendly. No problem. No issues there. But for God's sakes, was it expensive?
Was it a tourist trap? Maybe you think if you got.
Well, yeah, that was in Belfast, and so that's one of the things we were talking before the show started about. If you're going to go to places like this, if you have the opportunity to go off season, as Ben was saying, in the fall or the spring, something like that. Please do that. That's going to help you with your nerves and tension, and maybe the prices go down too a little bit. But yikes, we're so spoiled here in the United States. I mean, we really, really are in terms of reasonably priced food, and certainly our fuel costs are much less than what our poor cousins over in Europe are paying. Good Lord. And what blows my mind is, okay, Ireland is in the North Sea area, right, where they've got all this petroleum, all this stuff they're doing.
That's right.
Why is their fuel so expensive? I don't get it, unless it's just loaded with taxes. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Somebody in the audience may know.
Isn't the U.S. gas, isn't that subsidized by the U.S. government?
I don't know, Ben. That's a great question because now I fully appreciate going to the fuel pump here as compared to what we experienced a week ago in Ireland.
I think in America it's subsidized, but over in Europe, because of all the Eurozones, they don't subsidize it at all. So that's why you get, €7 a liter or what have you, and that's why it's so expensive. If we didn't subsidize it, we'd be getting about the same prices that they are over there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah.
Well, learn how to ride a bicycle, I guess.
Well, yeah, no, but
it was beautiful.
Yeah, but again, that's why public transportation and bicycling and that kind of thing. That's why it's so much bigger in Europe, is because not everyone can afford to drive a car every day. So public transportation over there much better, and bicycling is much more acceptable.
Yeah, you're true on all counts, I'll tell you. Yeah, and it was gorgeous over there. Don't get me wrong. We had a great time. I'm glad I did it. It was one of my bucket list check mark things I wanted to do in my life.
Did you see?
Yes, I did see some castles. Very cool. Very cool. And the other thing they have there in Ireland that's really fascinating are these from the time of the famine, or the 1840s and stuff. So many people just up and left to come to the United States. The old stone farmhouses and stuff abandoned all over the country. It's just wild. You can see these old homesteads, or not homesteads, but the old farms and such. That's really something to see, and lots of ruins and castles and all that kind of cool stuff, and the early Christian monastery, those big giant Celtic crosses, huge stone crosses. You'll see those every once in a while, and Neolithic stuff. We saw some stuff that was like 5,000-year-old burial sites.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah, really cool, interesting stuff. Well worth going to see. Just make sure your wallet is really big and the car you rent is really small, because the roads are very narrow in the countryside.
Is the steering wheel on the left side of the car or the right side of the car?
It's on the right side, so you're driving on the left side of the street and the steering wheel's on the right. And thank God in heaven, my daughter, who's really good at, her brain can flip. She took the mirror image bit of driving with no hiccups at all, and she did all the driving, thank God. That's the only thing that threw her off, guys, and you can immediately see this, is she would go to reach for the automatic, the gear shifting column, or whatever the right word is, and she would naturally want to put her right hand out. But oh no, it's over here on the left. So that threw her off more than being on the other side of the road.
Was it an automatic transmission at least, or was it manual?
Oh yeah, thank God. Oh yeah, you do not want to shift. You don't want to do that, especially on the country roads. They do have what you and I would call freeways.
But
they do have some really good ones. But once you get off those freeways, you're generally speaking in these very narrow horse and buggy roads.
But shifting also, you would be shifting with your left hand, and your feet would be backwards. So I would have to do the learning process. Oh yeah, exactly. That'd be terrible.
I think that'd be really weird. That would be really oddball. Okay. But people were great, and I can tell you this much. Oh my gosh, I've just gone blank. The famous dark beer from Ireland. I've just gone completely brain dead for a second. Guinness. Guinness tastes a lot better in Ireland than it does here in the United States.
Really?
I kid you not. And in fact, some local Irish people said, "Oh, have you noticed the difference?" And I said, "Yes, I enjoy it much more." I said, "Oh yeah, it's much better made there than it is when it's made in Canada, is where they make it for the North American market." And here's another trivia thing. More trivia about Guinness. Guinness, years and years and years ago, Guinness started brewing and developing the African market.
Oh.
Did you know? Isn't that wild? So you go to Africa, in many parts of Africa, Guinness is just the beer. It's like the Budweiser of Africa. It's just crazy.
I like them for their world records that they set, but other than that, no.
Yes.
Yes. Also, fun fact: Guinness is owned by an Englishman. So.
Oh my God, that's ironic.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Budweiser's now owned by the Belgians, so that's just wrong. That's a national thing that should never have been let go. I don't understand, but I'll leave the beer talk to that.
I like their Belgian chocolate. That's me. I'm not a big beer drinker.
Yes.
Beer
good chocolate.
Except that one beer that Ben had over here in North Carolina that tasted like, was it bananas or fruit? It was that was actually.
Oh yeah, the Jager Brau. But I mean, I got one thing that kind of mixes with technology and Belgian chocolate. If you want to hear it.
Yeah.
There was a spy back in the 60s or something like that with the Cold War, and he had tapings of, he was secretly taping meetings between Russian officials, and he had to smuggle it into
Wow.
Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way he could think about it was, the chocolate, and he was going to pose as a tourist. No, he had to get it out of Belgium, and he was going to, as a tourist, and he melted chocolate, put the tapes, like they were little tiny, spy tapes,
Oh wow.
and he put them in the chocolate, and then he melted chocolate, poured it over, made molds, and then he slipped it into chocolate sleeves, and he wrapped it up just like a normal piece of Belgian chocolate, and then customs stopped him.
Mhm.
And he wasn't allowed to bring it out of the country for some reason, or at least he was only allowed to bring 2 out, and he made 3 because he had 2 normal ones and he had 1 with the tapes hidden in them.
Oh.
So he had to take 1 out and he ate it right there in front of them, and he
Wow.
was hoping the
Oh.
entire time they wasn't about to bite into his tapes, which he did not, and he smuggled it out. And yeah, little bit of spy trivia.
Close call. Oh. Well, listen, we got lots to talk about here tonight. I mean, we're obviously on a good track here. What we want to do is, first of all, tell you how you can participate on tonight's show with Ralph. First of all, if you have a comment or question about anything we're talking tonight, you can call us at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. You also have email, live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can do that. You can also join us in our live interactive IRC chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com. You'll see it says chat room / live video. The button there, just click it. You'll see the IRC chat room. Put in a nickname. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. Add the CAPTCHA number or letters just to verify you. Then click the connect button, and your browser on a Windows, Mac, Linux, they all work. We'll move you into the Computer America chat room. You can also, if you want to, use Chatzilla or HexChat. There's a number of them out there that will actually format the chat room for you. But you can just use your browser if you want to, and join us in the Computer America chat room. Now, sharing that same page is our live Computer America video streaming page, and that's brought to you by Other World Computing. Quality products, expert support since 1988. Now celebrating its 25th anniversary. You can visit them at www.macsales.com. And I just want to mention that Otherworld Computing today has been honored twice in the ABA People's Choice Stevie Awards for the PlayStation 4 do-it-yourself hard drive. We've talked about that many, many times. And also the Envoy Pro EX USB 3.0 portable solid-state storage drive storage solution. They've won 2 awards today, and they honored them. This is for the favorite new products in the 12th Annual American Business Awards. OWC won in both categories and in 2 of the categories. So we just want to congratulate Otherworld Computing. We're not going to call them the award-winning Otherworld Computing as a sponsor of Computer America's live video streaming page. So congratulations to you, OWC, Otherworld Computing. All right. See, we have award-winning sponsors here on the Computer America show. All right, so
just win some awards. Arr.
That's right. Okay, now a couple of things that I want to mention. Everything that Ralph is going to be talking about tonight, you can not only listen to, but you can follow along. We actually have made this available. If you go to computer.com and you go to our show notes page, you'll see today's show, which is August the 22nd, Friday. You'll see it talks about Ralph Bond. As a matter of fact, Ralph has a brand new website too. As there you can see it. When you click on, you'll see Ralph's new website just went up, and it is Ralph. It's www.ralphbond.weebly, weebly.com. Although you can just click right on it and you can see it, and also it's going to talk about tonight some of the topics we're going to talk about. But right underneath there, you'll see the link that says Cheat Notes. If you click on that, it'll open up a Google Docs document, and you can see everything that we'll be talking about tonight. You'll see the products. Many of them have pictures, links that you can explore further. It's all there for you. Ralph puts this together for us every month, and you can kind of follow along and see everything for yourself. Just go to computeramerica.com under show notes. You'll see today's show, and you'll see the cheat notes link. Click on it, and you can follow along with us. See how much fun that is? Okay. Now, before we get started on this, Ralph, there's one of the things I just want to do. Last night we had our All Linux show with Larry Bushy, and I just wanted to take a moment to. We got an email. Now, Ben, it kind of set this up. You remember that we were talking about WordPerfect, and we were kind of laughing about how old-fashioned it is, and why do people use
justifiably so, I might add.
Yeah. Well, we got him. We heard from somebody. We heard from a gentleman. His name is Victor, and the subject is "You are," and he capped it misinformed. The word misinformed about WordPerfect, and the message is, "Hello, Craig and Larry. Yesterday on the Linux show, you both laughed out loud that anyone could possibly still be using WordPerfect, and you thought it was some kind of an anachronism that attorneys still use it." Okay? He says, attorneys use WordPerfect because it's superior to Microsoft Word and all other word processor programs that I have seen. I take it he's an attorney. WordPerfect lets you control formatting with its fine-tooth comb in very large documents that are highly formatted through their reveal codes feature. Okay, as documents grow and grow, managing formatting can become quite a monster. With reveal codes, you discover the problem instantly. They also have a legal version of the program that does everything an attorney needs to produce documents for court procedures and trials. This makes the program an immense time saver, and it is why attorneys and many people use it. WordPerfect is alive and well and selling their word processor to this day. Check out their website. I would suggest that Computer America invite them on the show someday. I think it's a great idea. We should do that. The public needs an education. Microsoft Word, he uses an expletive. That means it's not very good. Thanks again, Victor in San Francisco. So, hey, listen, Victor, thank you so much for informing us about this, and I think it's an excellent suggestion. I'll contact my associate producer, Carissa Green, and have her book them on the show, and hopefully you'll tune it in.
I'll assume, since I was not mentioned at the top of that I can safely say this: Craig and Larry just got told. Oh,
Smackdown.
Yeah, pretty much.
Smackdown. Yeah, we got Smackdown. Hey, but he has a good point. Yeah. I could see people in the legal profession using it, and he says why. So he makes a good point.
I mean, as long as you're not using like WordPerfect 1.0, it sounds like you're okay.
Okay, I'm sure he's not using 1.0. Yeah, thanks, Victor. We really appreciate the email, and thanks so much, and we'll take you up on your suggestion. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think that's everything for tonight. Yep. Okay. Oh no. I had one other thing. I'm sorry. I knew there was. I made a little list to myself to kind of remind me. We also had an email that I wanted to. It's very short. And this was when we had Elio Motors on the program, Ben. Elio Motors makes a automobile. It's still gas, but it's 3 wheels, and it gets like 84 miles to a gallon. Talk
nice.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful car, and $6,800. It starts.
Wow.
It starts at $6,800 for this car. It's amazing.
For a new car.
Yeah, for a new car. We had it on. Anyway, we heard from a gentleman called Eric O'Neill. He wrote us. He watched the video and everything. Our Google Hangouts. He said lots of good info that I have been eager to find out. I can't wait to get one. Thanks. So he just wrote that little comment. So again, thanks, Eric. Glad you enjoyed it, and glad we were able to get some of the information to you from Elio Motors. So
would have been lovely to cruise the Irish countryside in that thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the car, the Elio Motors. It's small, it's compact, but you have more than 2 people in your family, so that probably wouldn't work. It only takes 2 people. All right, so Of course, you could have two cars, but
Well, they could have towed Dad behind in some like those bicycles that have the little baby thing behind them. Maybe they could have done that.
done that anyhow. Oh, all right. Well, I think we got everything out, and so let's get started here with Ralph. And we're going to, speaking of cars, we're going to start off with a car. In this person, and I looked at this thing and went, "Holy mackerel! It's the ultimate zombie killing car." Zombie killing car. Yeah, this is evidently. So, is this for real? It looks like it's German or something. What is this?
Well, yeah, and talk about getting corrections. Thanks to Star Fortress in the chat room, thank you so much. She pointed out the extension .se is for Sweden, so this is actually originally, if you click on the link that's in the show notes, it's actually originally a Swedish story, so good, thank you. So for some reason I thought it was German. Nonetheless, it is just a concept kind of idea for a vehicle. There is an Autodesk, as you guys know, I work for Autodesk, one of the software used to create this image so you could get this idea of what this crazy, wacky, ultimate zombie killing car would look like. It uses Maya software from Autodesk, one of our imaging software packages. It's also very, very popular in the entertainment industry as well. So I just couldn't resist this because, now, friends, this is why you should listen to Craig. Go out and get the show notes. Without the show notes, you're not going to see the pictures of this insane, crazy. This would be so great in a movie. Wouldn't this be great to have in a movie?
It looks
anyway,
like just Batmobile or something. I mean, it's really
kind of. Yeah, but it's got those sort of tank treads at the back, and too for ultimate traction. Because when you're running over lots of zombies, things get kind of squishy. Right, and so you need really good traction. Tires wouldn't do it. You need the treads, right? You need the tank treads. Anyway, so kind of a rough translation into English. It was not very good translation, but it talks about this concept car that would be a 700 horsepower, 12-cylinder engine with twin turbochargers. The estimated cost, if you were to actually make this thing, is about $8 million, which is kind of hilarious. And it was designed by a fellow named Khalid Aklayed from, I'm terribly butchering his name, forgive me, but this fellow's from Jordan. Now, how many Jordanians do you think are sitting around thinking about zombies and, coming up with a concept car? So salute to Jordan for having somebody, a Jordanian, come up with this idea. Because, I guess I think of zombies as being sort of a Western culture thing. European Americans, we're obsessed with, Walking Dead, all that sort of stuff, but maybe it's a worldwide phenomenon, this thing about zombies, right?
They have Middle East zombies, that's it.
Middle East zombies. Oh, hey, World War Z. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
There you go. Of course, that's why the zombies.
I mean, you can think about it. The Middle East has been dealing with zombies longer than the West has. They have mummies,
It's true.
And those are nothing but, wrapped up zombies.
Well, yes.
Waiting to swing into action. So anyway, it goes on to say in the story, kind of a tank-like vehicle inspired with propelling rear wheels, of course, which is the tread, sort of like the tank tread, armored grille in the front window, lucite, it should be, plates along the side of the car, and automatic weapons and all this sort of stuff. I just thought it was fun. But again, the rendering is done using Maya software, and it once again shows you how phenomenally realistic today's computer-aided imagery software can be to create something that looks so real.
I thought it was a photograph until you pointed it out.
Isn't that something? I mean, it just blows my mind. If I'm understanding the story correctly, in fact, perhaps if someone in the audience is a native speaker and reader of Swedish, they could go out to the website and see if the translation is even roughly correct or not, but my understanding was it's a concept, that this is a rendering, and it was done with Maya software. So again, reader or listeners, if anybody out there is fluent in Swedish, help us out, double check that. But it's fun. I just love the imagery. I just love it.
Can you imagine driving this car and pulling into your local Firestone, and check balance?
Yeah, I only need 2
tires. Would you please?
Can you rotate my 2 tires? Just switch them around.
Yeah, I need to rotate the tires a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
And clean the tread, will you?
Exactly. There it is. Well, okay. And again,
if you go to the article that you actually pulled it from, that they have the gallery there, and they have what the car looks like while it was, still mid-rendering in Autodesk or what have you. And it's Maya, in Maya, and it's definitely a computer rendering, but it looks gorgeous.
Isn't that something? Oh yeah, and I think somebody in Hollywood, next zombie movie, needs to use this vehicle design and have it in the movie. It would be great.
Can you imagine pulling up in this car though, and the valet, park it somewhere where you won't dent it or something? Okay.
You could park it anywhere you want, sir.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just don't shoot me.
Exactly right. Okay. Well, as we move right along there from concept vehicles to bicycles that might be real, this story is evidently the company called Solid's vibrating handlebars navigate bike lanes on its 3D printed frame. Tell us, this looks
yeah. This has got lots of layers going on, and truth in lending, full transparency disclosure here. This has a personal interest to me because Solid, this bike was designed by an outfit here in Portland, Oregon, where I am outside of. I live about 15 miles west of Portland, but nonetheless, I'm also involved with this because my son's girlfriend works for Industry, the company that was associated with Solid in designing this bike. And this bike, by the way, friends, if you're looking at the show notes, you need those show notes. You can see the pictures and stuff. This bike was one of several bikes created in different cities around the United States in a competition. And Seattle, to the north of us, won the competition, but this was one of the competing bikes. This is a story from Engadget.com, story by Billy Steele. And let's get into it again. If you have the show notes, you can see the image of the bike there along the banks of the Willamette River here in Portland. And it was a 3D printed frame. It's got all this technology, really, really interesting. So let's get into the story here. It says, just like when you're driving a car, glancing down at your phone while biking, the busy streets of your city can be quite dangerous. And that's really true. I mean, bicyclists are prone to the same kind of distractions of their cell phones and earbuds, all this kind of stuff. But it says, thanks to Portland-based design firm, there's a bike that allows you to keep your eyes on the road while getting those much-needed directions. And I also want to explain that this is a bike that was a concept bike. The winning bike was from Seattle. That's actually going to go into production. So this one may or may not ever go into full production. So again, disclosure, this is a concept bike. Yes. But it says the folks at Industry, and Industry is the name of this design company here in Portland, teamed up with local builders Tri-Cycles for Solid. A Bluetooth-enabled two-wheeler connects to a smartphone app monitoring bike maintenance and offers vibrating handlebars for heads-up GPS navigation. So there's a lot to take in all in one reading here, but it's a lot of interesting technology going on here. A companion app called My Bike keeps an eye on burned out lights and other potential upkeep headaches in the bike. And then the app My City, a second bit of software, serves as guide for blazing the bike lanes of your chosen locale. In order to keep your eyes on the road, haptic grips will buzz when you're approaching a turn, and they'll both vibrate when you've missed one. So that's how you have the heads-up warning, or you get the tactile response that, hey, you're coming up on a right turn or a left turn. All of Solid's onboard electronics are pedal-powered, with its components tucked inside a 3D printed titanium frame that unscrews for easy access. We'll talk about that printing process in a moment here, because I had a chance to talk to some of the designers when they did a kind of reveal party for this bike, and it was just so much fun to talk to them about the 3D printing process. All right, but it goes on with the story.
Well, and I'll tell you what, we'll continue on because we're at the bottom, and then we'll continue on with the story. This is the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Ralph Bond is here with us for both hours. We're doing these great stories, including this one about this bike that navigates with vibration. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No No has patented Thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin Review of the Ventev R2240 Dashport 2 by 2.4 amp lighter plug USB adapters. Now, we used to call it a lighter plug. It's now called a 12-volt accessory socket. And not many 12-volt adapters that we've tried provide enough juice to a pair of tablets. So we were thrilled when the Ventev Dashport R2240 dual output. It's long and slender, with one USB power port at its tail, another on its side, each rated at 2.4 amps, so that's 4.8 amps total. Its length and shape, long and skinny, may collide with the shift selector in some cars, so do check that out before deploying one. We especially like it as a way to feed a pair of power-hungry, high-capacity power pucks in the car, making for a lot of utility and longevity without eating up the whole center console. Bottom line, the Ventev Dashport R2240 dual output universal charger delivers more current than most other current alternatives. This is Marty Winston at the News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. 33 minutes past the hour, we have Ralph Bond with us, and we're doing news and tech stories that he has found over the last week or so. And, we were just doing this bicycle that has haptic feedback and, works with your smartphone. There's an app for that, and your bike, it's a smart bike. So,
yeah. Why don't you continue on with the story?
Yeah, it definitely is a great example of what Ben was saying, a smart bike. And, of course, the never-ending creativity of designers around the world to figure out new ways for your smartphone to integrate with other appliances. And here's the kind of symbiotic relationship between the smartphone and a bicycle for a GPS solution whereby you're coming up on a turn that you should be making. Let's say you're coming up to an intersection and you're supposed to be making a right turn. Your right hand grip is going to vibrate to indicate, okay, this is a turn you need to make. You don't have to look down. You can keep heads up on the road and all that kind of good stuff. And as I was saying before the break, this bike, along with others, I think Chicago, I know Seattle, Portland, I'm trying to think of the other cities that were involved in this competition, maybe it was New York and so on, we're all part of this bike design project. And in the show notes, I think it has, it should, hopefully it has the embedded link there. You can go out there and look at the website and learn about the design competition and learn about the winning bike from Seattle, which, by the way, is a fascinating bicycle. It's really a cool bike. So if you're interested in this sort of thing and in advanced bicycle design, check this out. It's a great story. And it goes on to say that the gears of the bike in question from the team in Portland here, the gears are sorted electronically as well at the push of a button. and those safety lights turn off thanks to built-in sensors. So it has an electronically managed gear shifting solution, all housed in a watertight housing. And I mentioned before that this was a titanium frame that was quote unquote printed. And so I was asking the team, when I think of 3D printing, guys, I'm sure you do too, it's usually that kind of, for lack of better terms, plasticky like material that sort of, melts on in little layer after layer after layer in a 3D printer, right? So when they told me, oh, we printed this in titanium, I said, well, what? How do you print metal? What? And they said it was, and I'm paraphrasing it badly probably, but kind of like a powdered titanium. And then I said, well, fine, but isn't that just going to fall over like a lump of sugar or something? No, they fused it with laser. So in this process of creating and building the bike frame with titanium that's powdered and then fused, again, not an engineer enough to know how it actually worked, but that's what they explained to me, and I thought that was particularly fascinating with this bike.
Very, very cool. There's no pricing yet.
Yeah.
No pricing for this yet?
No, because again, this was just a concept, guys. There were these 5 or 6 cities that were all challenged to come up with a really creative idea for an urban bike. It was not meant to be an off-road bike or suburban bike, but it'd be a downtown urban bike. So they said, hey, designers, put your noodles together here. Think about this. The winning bike will have a chance at going into production. And again, the winning bike is from Seattle. So go to that bike design project, follow the links, get to the site, and see the winning bike, because that one, it's on track to actually go into production. I'm sure they won't be inexpensive, but really creative ideas on looking at something that you think about a bicycle, you think, well, what could you possibly do that's new or fresh or different with a bike? Wow, you should see the other entries too from the other cities as well. It's really cool.
Very, very cool. All right. Well, I think we should move on to story 3 here, the next one, which asks the question, can an app, I know they have an app for most everything, but but can an app make you a better person? I don't know.
Well, my wife would say, show me that app quick. My husband needs it. But a better person needs to be qualified here. It refers to better managing your life and so forth. But this is a story I picked up from Techno Buffalo online, and a story by Jill Duffy, and the link is in the show notes. You can see that, and also some images of the app interface itself. But let me tell you what this is. I thought this was kind of interesting because Lord knows all of us today live in such a multitasking environment. We've got so much going on all at the same time, right? And so I really responded to this story because I thought this is a good app for helping you deal with that. But the story says, procrastinators beware. A new app called Timeful, 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 designed by a team of experts in behavioral economics and artificial intelligence. Now that's kind of fun to think about it. Imagine bringing together behavioral economics. I don't even know what that is. I know what an economic major is. My wife was that, and that's why she is a Quicken addict. But what's a behavioral economics? Anyway, and artificial intelligence experts come together to create this application to help get your act together, aka be a better person. So the other thing I liked about this, it's a free app for iOS, blends aspects of time management, task management, scheduling, and prioritization. Now, the way I do that in my life is I get a clipboard and I meet with my wife, and she task manages, schedules, and prioritizes for me. But here's an app that could help maybe automate that process. So it goes on to say the idea is to prioritize the tasks you hope to do while considering everything else on your plate at the same time. Hence the multitasking I was alluding to before. Right. In order to make time for what matters the most, there's the prioritization part of it. A signature feature of Timeful is called a good habit, which are tasks that you want to do more often and that repeat over time, such as, for example, exercising or studying or maybe practicing a musical instrument or something every day. You can let Timeful suggest times in your schedule that you should block off for these kinds of tasks, nudging you to quit procrastinating and instead actually plan them into your day. And it says, despite its simple interface, Timeful has a highly advanced technological foundation behind it. For starters, it's tapping into something the team calls the intention genome. And I think I'm pronouncing that right. Is it genome? Yes. Genome? Yes. Intention genome. And there's a quote here from the developer. It says, this is a framework that breaks each intention into its basic building blocks. Wow. Now my intentions are broken into building blocks. Oh, these scientist guys are great. I love this stuff. This fellow's name is Bank. He says, the intention genome tries to infer as many properties about a task as it can. For example, prepare a presentation is a computer task to be completed at the office. So these guys have really, put a lot of thought into this. Is the message behind the story here, and then the developer also is quoted as mentioning that Timeful also considers which hours during the day you are likely to be at a high working capacity as opposed to less productive. While periods of high and low productivity certainly vary by individuals, there's plenty of research indicating that most people are better at focusing on complicated tasks earlier in the day. So all of this behavior research, all of this task orientation, all this is merged together in this free app. And, hey, it's worth a look-see. But you know what? Here's the thing that's sort of kind of oxymoronic in a way, I guess, is I'm thinking, I'm so gosh darn busy. I'm so multitask drowning that the thought that I'd have to stop now and take this app and try to figure out how to be less confused and multitasking is a challenge in its own right. So I'm not putting it down, but check it out, see what you think. I haven't tried it out yet myself, and I plan to just to see what it would be like.
Yeah, because you make a valid point because there's so many apps out there, and some things just to try to find an app that's going to do something for you. It reminds me of the story years ago when I was a manager at a computer store. I had this gentleman walked into the store and he says, I'm a gin player. I mean, we play cards all the time, and I'm looking for a computer that will keep score for us. And I looked at him and I said, buy yourself a pad and a pencil and do it the way you've always been doing it. There's some tasks that are just not going to work on a computer. That it's not the catch-all for every single. It's really not optimal for everything. And
well,
I think,
yeah.
And I think maybe
jokes on you two.
Yeah.
I just downloaded it.
You just downloaded it.
Oh, cool.
Let
us know what you think.
If this cures Ben of his procrastination, man, I'll be really impressed.
I got it bad. Sometimes I forget to procrastinate because I got to take a nap. Because
I forget to procrastinate.
How do you love it? I forget.
So this app will help you not to forget to procrastinate. It'll say, Ben, be sure to procrastinate now.
Let's see how it does. Just from the story alone, I think I'm gonna give it a try.
All right,
that's cool. And you know what? I'll share it. For me personally, a tip about prioritizing and not forgetting things and so forth. Our company, Autodesk, we, like so many businesses, use Microsoft Outlook for our calendars and scheduling meetings and all this kind of stuff. Well, I'm always working on something, and I think, you know what, this is something that the lawyer said they'll get this document back to me tomorrow, and I want to remember to check. I go in and create fake meetings with myself in Outlook calendar that are tagged reminder. This is when the legal team said they'd have such and so document back to you, and I just drop these little. They're shown as free and open space on my calendar. So if a colleague needs to meet with me or something, and they're not blocked out, right? But that's my little Post-it notes, my sort of like mental reminders, all digital, all on the calendar, and I can glance at that and go, oh yeah, that's right, so and so. Otherwise, it would be in here and out there so fast. And I'll even do something like I'll be working today, let's say it's a Monday, and I know I need to remember something for the Wednesday of next week. I'll go in there the Wednesday of next week and put a reminder in that form. Works for me, folks. It might help you. It's not a specialized app. It's like that pad of paper, but in this case, just the calendar. So that's how it worked for me.
Yeah. All right. Now, this next one reminds me because this about 2 days ago on Wednesday, we had our Intel sponsor hour. We had Chris Walker, who is the Intel's general manager for tablets in their mobile communications group, talking about all the different tablets at Intel. is working with. And this next story is again from Techno Buffalo, and it's entitled "Best Tablets for Back to School 2014." And I found this very intriguing, and I'm curious to see, what tablets they're recommending. This looks very good.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's very timely. And one other qualifier is that what they looked at in this story by Todd Hazelton for Techno Buffalo, as you mentioned, are full-sized. So they're looking at the larger format tablets, not the mini iPads or what have you, that kind of, or not like the Kindle Fires, the big guys here. And we got the link there for you and the photographs and all this stuff. Well, gee, no surprise. Top of their list here is the iPad Air. That got high marks. It says the iPad Air touch screen tablet should definitely be on your list for several reasons. First, you can find it from a lot of outlets that offer it at a more affordable price than Apple does directly, like Amazon. Second, it offers an amazingly thin body and fast processor, of course. Third, you're going to get the update to iOS 8 this fall, even if Apple does not decide to launch the new iPads in the coming months, which means you'll have the latest software experience. And finally, there are countless accessories available for the iPad, so true, like Bluetooth keyboard options that help it double as a laptop, which more and more people are doing, of course, as you guys know. If Touch ID is high on your list of wants, then you might want to hold out until after school starts, but the iPad Air is an excellent full-size tablet choice. So that was their first one. And by the way, I'm going to stop for a second and offer a comment. This whole idea of taking a full-size tablet, adding a keyboard, and making it kind of virtually like a laptop replacement, maybe kind of, sort of. I love my iPad. I love it, love it, love it. But I'll tell you one thing, I would absolutely love it if I could also have a Bluetooth mouse for the thing. Oh, I'm one of these people, if I'm going to do a Word document or something like that, I need a mouse. And it's always annoyed me that the Apple iPads just don't get... Do the Android tablets give you a mouse option? I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you guys?
I don't think so either. I think keyboards are the popular one.
Yeah, just the keyboards maybe with it. I don't even know if the keyboards have a touch mouse or not. I don't think so. Nope. Anyway, that just seems to be one thing about tablets that just a quirk for me, that pet peeve for me is the lack of that. But going on with the story, the next full-size tablet.
Could that be because you're also from the school of you basically you come from using mice and the more of an old school, could be.
Well, yes, that was a gentle way to slip in old, because that is definitely where Daddy's coming from here. He goes, where's that mouse? I don't even like the touch mice. I need a mouse. I need the real deal, right there.
I don't think so. It's like we've said it many, many times on the show before. Touchscreens are not conducive to working computers, because you have to reach up and and even though you can kind of joke it's just like a few inches, but I mean resting your hand on a mouse and moving around is much better for working on documents than it is to reach up and touch around and do that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, my wife recently got a Lenovo laptop that's of course a touchscreen as well as naturally the mouse, and she's really having a great hybrid experience. So to your point, Ben, you're right. For heavy duty real work, I still want a mouse. She does too, but she's really gotten into kind of the bit about combining the two experiences in one working experience has really been very good for her. But going back to the story, for more of a full-size tablets that the Techno Buffalo folks recommend for back to school, the next one is the Galaxy Tab S 10.5-inch tablet. And from Samsung, which I like Samsung products a lot. I've always had a good experience. It says here, you'll have a real tough time finding a better screen than the incredible display Samsung included in the Galaxy Tab S 10.5 touchscreen tablet, one of the best new Android tablets right now, according to the story here. It says this brand new tablet ships with a 10.5-inch screen with a super sharp 2,560 by 1,600 pixel resolution. And unlike other tablets on the market, it employs Samsung's amazing super, is that pronounced AMOLED? Like
yeah,
it's AMOLED.
Or AMOLED, either one. Mm-hmm.
Which means the blacks are inky dark and the whites are super bright. You'll also find 3 gigs of RAM, a Snapdragon 800 processor, 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes of expandable storage, and more. That's another pet peeve I have with Apple. Please, why didn't you give me a micro SD card slot for that iPad? I won't go there because it brings up a lot of bitterness. But anyway, we were blown away by the Galaxy Tab S10.5 in our tests, and we think any Android fan should put it high on their list. At $499.99, 1 penny shy of $500 for the Wi-Fi model, the price is a bit steep, but it's easily one of the best tablets out there right now. And it goes on to say, keep an eye out for Samsung's Bluetooth keyboard too, which makes it feel like a laptop. So that was their number 2 choice. First the iPad Air, and next the Galaxy Tab S 10.5-inch tablet.
All right, very cool. And then, of course, next is the Lenovo. This is the Yoga.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah, the Yoga tablet, which is really, and again, if you have the show notes, you can see the image. It's a very stylish looking thing. And
Cool.
I'm a big fan of Lenovo products, and my wife is really enjoying her new Lenovo laptop that I was mentioning. And that also kind of does the bit where it can tent. It can be a clamshell, but it also can be a tent format, and she's just loves that for having her recipes in the kitchen and all that good stuff. But anyway, here's the next one. Number 3 in the list of full-size tablets that Techno Buffalo recommends, Lenovo Yoga Tablet 10 HD Plus, and a very nice-looking unit. It says, we first saw the brand-new Lenovo Yoga Tablet 10 HD Plus touchscreen tablet back at the 2014 Mobile World Congress show, where we left impressed with the metal design and unique form factor. So again, you need the show notes to see the picture to see what they're talking about. Here's something that's attractive. For $329, you'll get a 10.1-inch display with 1920 by 1200 pixel resolution, 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigabytes of expandable storage, and a front-facing camera with an 8-megapixel camera. That's pretty good. And it says, yes, we admit it's a bit of a turnoff that it ships with Android 4.3. I'm not enough of an Android knowledgeable person to understand why that's a turnoff. Maybe you guys know. But the price is right, and we love how it can be propped up at various angles thanks to its unique hinge design. And again, the show notes have that picture. You can see what they're talking about. Goes on to say, toss in a Bluetooth keyboard, and you have a great productivity machine too. At its price, we think it's one of the better new Android tablets in this category. Plus, you'll get 2 solid front-facing speakers. Seriously, if you're on a budget, load this thing up with Netflix, prop it up on your desk as a dorm room TV. 2 birds with 1 stone. That's what college is all about.
There you go.
And I think the thing about the Android version, the 4.3, is that the latest one is 4.4, and that came out in but that came out almost a year ago. So it's running like a year and a half, 2-year-old operating system.
And you can't
long in the tooth.
You can't upgrade the operating system on these things. You have to use the one that comes with.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't.
Yep, you can't, or yep, you can.
Yep, you cannot upgrade it after you've bought it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now that's where Apple's great because they're always, upgrading my OS on my phone and my tablet. So, well, that's an interesting point. Okay, and then the next one here,
This is
Surface Pro 3 from Microsoft.
I'm really interested in this because this is their latest entry into on the Surface line.
Right.
Tablets. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So they brought that in. That's in there. It's good kudos for Microsoft to be in this list. And the author says, I know what you're thinking. Isn't this more of a laptop? Still, the Surface Pro 3 makes a fantastic full-size touchscreen tablet, and ships with super powerful Intel Core i3, Core i5, or Core i7 processors, making it a real full-fledged PC. My wife almost went with this. She was kind of on the edge about whether to go with this or not, and the reason she didn't is that she really wants to have a larger keyboard and one with a numeric keypad built in because she's a real numbers nut, and so that's why we went with a larger size Lenovo, but it's a ThinkPad format. But anyway, so still the Surface Pro is a good unit, again, with the Core i3, Core i5, or Core i7 processors, plus it has a redesigned hinge that makes it slightly better for using in your lap or propping up on your desk. You'll also get a full version of Windows 8.1, which means this slate can essentially serve as your school computer and a tablet, though you'll need to cough up some extra cash for the keyboard accessory, which I think is about $129 for that thing alone. It says, we love the Surface Pro 3 in our review, and if you have the cash to spend, it's definitely worth considering. And, of course, my comment to this is definitely worth considering if, of course, you're a Windows person, and that's where you want to be.
Right.
Nice unit. The next one in the list is the Galaxy Note Pro 12.2. 12.2. The Galaxy Note Pro 12.2 touchscreen tablet is certainly an expensive device, but it's also fantastic for both media, and productivity, and is easily one of the best new Android tablets available. The reviewer says, I've used it with a Bluetooth keyboard and a mouse to write blog posts, fire off emails, and more, making it a solid laptop competitor. So, I answered my own question here because I forgot reading this when I was first researching this article. That I'd like to know how that works out, because, again, that could make it a viable kind of alternative if you're looking for that kind of experience. It says it's 12.2-inch, 2,560 by 1,600 pixel display is also fantastic for watching movies, browsing the web, and jotting down notes, which is easy thanks to the included S Pen that tucks right into the corner of the device for storage if you want a bit more functionality than the Galaxy Tab S10.5 and a larger display. This should definitely be on your list of considerations. So that rounds out the top selections that the Techno Buffalo people thought of. Now
this is 2560 by 1600. How did that compare with the other one from a Galaxy Tab? It was 25.
Let's go back up there and look. Scrolling back up to take a peek.
2560 by 1600. Same thing. It's a 2560.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
But
which would be beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the specs on the Retina? What's the Apple Retina display specs? What is that aspect ratio? What
not off the top of my head, I don't know, but it's
up there, obviously.
It's up there, yeah, but I don't know if it's that high. But it is, 2560 by 1600 is a nice resolution, no question.
Boy, you bet it is. You bet it is. Very nice.
2560 by 1600 is the Retina.
Okay. So there, it's getting up.
Well, that's on the 13-inch, and the 15-inch is 2880 by 1800.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Well, listen, we're coming quickly to the top of the hour, so we're just going to pause here for a little bit. Let me just tell you a couple of things here. Of course, we're going to have our show reminder winner of the week. We're going to be announcing that in the next hour. Also, we'll have the last of the Marty Winston's editor of the News Tip Bulletin's reviews. We're going to have the last one again for this week, and then we'll have 2 new ones for next week. Again, our Logitech contests are also up in full swing. Check them out at ComputerAmerica.com. Just go to our first pull-down menu, our contest page. You know about our show reminder winner because we'll do that tonight. And we also have our Logitech contest. I need to mention that. We have 3 great prizes from Logitech. This is the last time we're going to have the suite of the 3 prizes that you see here. We're going to have a refresh of them next month. So if again you have the Logitech HD Webcam C310, the G400S gaming mouse, and the UE600 noise isolating earphones at $120. All the instructions are there. Just send an email to contest@computeramerica.com. The contest ends Friday, September the 12th at 12 midnight ET. Over the weekend, we'll draw the 3 winning names. And then Monday, September the 15th, we'll announce the 3 winners, and then also we'll have the new contest. So, get your entries in. Enter in all of our contests at ComputerAmerica.com. They're all private. They're all free. You'll have a lot of fun, playing all of them. And who knows, you might win something really, really nice. Okay, at ComputerAmerica.com. Okay, so we're going to continue on here with this in the second hour. Ralph Bond is going to continue on with us. We got some more stories. Again, if you're not looking at the show reminder, the cheat notes, you need to look at them. Where some of the stories coming up is NPR is going to be delivering personalized public radio on the go. And also, how would you like to be able to use your smartphone as a hotel room key? Is that cool, or is that dangerous? I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay. Those stories and more coming up here on the Computer America Show on the Boost Radio Network, on the Blog Talk Radio Network, and the IRN Radio Network. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at Computer America. Computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
I need to get that procrastination software that he was talking about.
I don't think it's procrastination software at this point. I think it's just a memory thing.
It could be.
In his old age, in his twilight years, Mr. Crossman.
Yes. Ralph Bond continues on with us as we're doing our these different picks that he finds, stories to find. Again, you can read all of them on his cheat notes at our website at computeramerica.com. On our show notes page, you can check all of it out at computeramerica.com. So, again, we're going to have our show reminder winner announcement coming up sometime this hour. So let's continue on. Now, that was the last of the tablets. It was a nice little roundup of them. And again, you can see all of them. So in this hour, we're going to start off with story 5, NPR. Okay, NPR One delivers personalized public radio on the go. This is interesting.
Yeah. Of course, being in radio, as we all are here, we're all interested in these kinds of developments. The National Public Radio One, as you were saying, this is a story from Engadget.com by Billy Steele. And let's, if you have the show notes, you can see an image of the app interface and so forth. And I thought this was kind of cool. It says NPR already has a few options for sorting its range of programming, but now the public radio outfit is looking to get more specific. The latest effort is the NPR One, which offers a local stream along with curated content that's accessible with one tap, all broken down into short segments. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
For example, upon launching the app and signing in with a Facebook, Google, or NPR account, pressing play begins streaming the latest update from the closest station where you are, right? Right. In the case of the writer here, he mentions UNC was his local station here. But again, the idea is it'll detect where you are and start a stream from the closest NPR station. I think that's very cool because if you're a traveler, that could be kind of fun. Swiping to the left of the Now Playing section offers a history of recently broadcast content for a quick recap, while a swipe to the right allows you to scroll through upcoming bits. That's pretty cool. There's also controls for skipping back in 15-second increments and jumping from the current story to another. Now, bravo. I love the 15-second bounce back option.
Instant replay.
Because because somebody might say something. What did they say? I want to hear that. Boom. You can go right back. For example, Amazon Prime Video has a really nice 10-second forward or back jump you can do when you're watching a streaming show or something. That's kind of cool. So it reminded me of that. Goes on, the story says, of course, if you're after the latest All Songs Considered or Fresh Air episodes, those are easily searchable as well. Both Android and iOS apps are available via their respective repositories. It doesn't say whether there's a fee, but I'm sure there must be a free app, I would assume.
Yeah, it usually is. All right.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. Now, this next story is something I know that our certified ethical hacker Charles Tendell would absolutely bristle at.
He'd love it.
Yeah, I'm sure. But evidently, the Hilton hotels are going to allow you to use your smartphone as the key to your hotel room. I don't know. All right.
You know what's going to happen? Some dummy like me is going to go, "Oh, okay," and try to shove it in the little slot where the it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit
into the keyhole, and I scratch my screen to boot.
And my Gorilla Glass got hurt. Sorry, it's Friday night. What can I say? Okay, this story from Engadget.com by John Fingus. And as Craig was saying, Hilton will let you use your phone as a hotel room key. Always love this kind of stuff. Once again, how can we make those smartphones do even more for us? And Hilton's come up with this idea. Starwood isn't the only hotel chain that wants you to use your smartphone as a hotel room key. Hilton is launching an initiative that lets you use your Android or iOS device to control virtually every aspect of your stay. So it's more than just your room key. Later this summer, a Hilton app will let you choose your preferred room, make special requests, check in, and check out. You'll only have to speak to the staff when it's time to pick up or return your keys. Now, the headline of the story says use your hotel as a room, smartphone as a room key, but let's go on here. Let's see what else it says here. So it says you'll only have to speak to the staff when it's time to pick up or return your keys. Wait a minute, I thought my phone was going to be the key. Anyway, and in 2015, you won't even need to do that much. Your phone, here you go, will also unlock your room, letting you make a beeline for your bed after a long flight.
Yeah, you can check in.
Minimizing minimizing check-in issues and stuff, that could be very attractive. Could be. The rollout will take some time, but it should trump a Starwood in terms of sheer scale. Room selection should be available in over 4,000 Hilton-affiliated hotels by the end of this year, including DoubleTree and Embassy Suites. Marriott will have a check-in and check-out features at a similar number of locations by the end of this year, but Hilton's room selection and key features might give it an edge. Whichever hotel chain you prefer, the advancements are good news. If you're a globetrotter, you can spend more time sleeping and less time waiting in line. Now, as I was reading this story, I was thinking, what if you took that app we talked about in the first hour of the show, the one that makes you a better person, combine it with the hotel, and maybe it'll prioritize, you know, what are you going to do in this hotel room? First unpack, then do this. You know, oh, I'm just kidding.
You know, there's so many cool things, that smartphones are doing. Let me just tell you about something I just started doing today because I happened to see a TV commercial about it. Do you shop at Walmart by any chance, Ralph?
Occasionally, we have one, and boy, here in Oregon, they've got a. I'm trying to think of polite words. There's issues about Walmart in a liberal state that just, you know.
Oh, all right.
Anyway.
Well, without getting into the politics.
Well, we have one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Here's the thing. I saw this on a commercial, and I just tried today. The Walmart just put out an app for the smartphone. Actually, they enhanced its app because they've actually had the app for some time. Now what you can do is you go to Walmart and then you get your receipt from the thing, and then what you do is you can take your smartphone and you run the app and it'll actually look at the app will look at the barcode on your receipt.
Yeah.
And then it will it'll see what it knows from that barcode what it is that you purchased, how much you paid for each item, and then it will take each item that you paid for and compare it to 150 different other retail outlets. And if it determines that the price it was not as good at any of those 150 retail outlets, it will see the difference, take that difference, and put it to a Walmart card that you can pick up, and will give you the cash back. What you would.
That's not good.
Well, how do you figure? Why is that not good?
You know, even though I don't really live in one of those liberal states like Ralph Mahn does, you know, with all the hipsters and whatnot, Walmart doesn't need any help destroying corporate America.
It's not destroying it. It's just giving you the best deal. I mean, you can and you having to go 150 different stores to compare prices. This does it for you automatically, and it says, okay, you know, you spend.
But what person needs to go in and buy some laundry detergent, and are they realistically going to need to shop through 150 stores, or are they just going to go to their favorite outlet?
No, what they're going to do, if they go to Walmart and you buy most of your stuff from them, this is really cool because now if you have 40 items that you purchase, you can take it and it could add up. You know, if you're saving $1 or $2 on each item and finds that they had a better deal, and then they put it to a Walmart card that you can on your smartphone that you can just use to your next purchase. I think it's kind of cool.
I agree. I think it's kind of reminds me of automating the whole coupon kind of culture, right? it's a way of, I have to say I'm impressed, because if you're a customer, you can go in there and confidently feel like, okay, I'm going to get a good price.
Right.
And I'll get basically what you're talking about is crediting me with the difference, if there is a difference in my favor, so the next time I come to the store, which means I'm going to come back. Exactly. There's another part of the kind of emotional glue that's going on here from a retailer's point of view. Right. Yeah, I think imagine if you walked into a Best Buy and had the same kind of app. Wouldn't that be cool? That might make me think I'll go to Best Buy, because a lot of times I think, well, I can go to some other outlets or go to Amazon.com. If it would compare to Amazon.com, and if the Best Buy app, imagine if Best Buy did this. Hello, Best Buy, I hope you're listening. Yeah. If you did an app like that would say to a customer, well, we found out here on Amazon.com they've got the same widget here for $2 less. Right. We'll give you that $2. Right. And that would be a killer. That would save the brick and mortar guys. It would save.
I think so. I think it really. Because you can't do it manually. There's no way you're going to sit there with papers. You go yourself crazy. But now you just zap it. You do it in your phone. It actually looks at the receipt, and it picks up the barcode. It knows exactly what you purchased. How much you paid for it. It compares it to 150 different outlets, and then it says, okay, you could have saved, we overcharge you like by $10 or something. Next time you come back, we're gonna give you that $10 back. That's
and it'll not to beat a dead horse here on this thing, but brick and mortar retail guys, we all know this in the internet age, are becoming the looky-loo showrooms for bozos like me to go to Best Buy and look at something that I'm thinking of buying, tiddle-diddle around with it, go home and order it on Amazon.com because I can get it for $10 less or something. Well, if Best Buy had an app like you're talking about that Walmart has, it says, hey, Ralph, we've just checked, 150 whatever, blah, blah, including Amazon.com. Okay, if you buy it from us, we'll give you the credit and so forth. And I think it would transform that whole experience, because the retail guys I talk to, the brick and mortar retail guys that I talk to, it just drives them crazy that people come in just to touch and feel and then go off and get online and buy it from Amazon. Yeah. Right? Nothing against Amazon. I love Amazon. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
I hear you.
Transform the landscape.
It would transform. It would make them competitive again. And
exactly.
Yeah, because now when you buy it from Best Buy, you don't have to go back and start searching on Amazon. Now it's easier just to take a the picture of it and it'll tell you, and we'll do the price. And not only that, the nice thing about the Walmart is that it does it after the fact. In other words, I don't have to. It's after I purchase it, I still save the money. I don't have to wait to do the purchase first. I went ahead and purchased it, and then even though after the fact, it's going to refund me the difference.
Yeah.
So I think that's
I think it could really change things. I think it'd be interesting.
That's why I thought I would.
So with all due respect, Ben, we think it's cool.
I'm gonna step back from this because I can't separate the quote unquote political argument of Walmart from something like this. Like, I'm glad that you kind of separated from the Walmart app, and you just took Walmart completely out of the equation and just said an app like this would be amazing, and you just took Walmart completely out of it. I mean, and that made it sound a little more palatable.
Yeah, but they're the first to do it, so that's it.
But I can't take Walmart. With that app. So, I'm just reserve.
There's a Walmart right around the corner where you live. I mean,
I know.
What is it? I know. Okay.
No, it's awful.
Well, you sound like an Oregonian, buddy.
Rabble.
All right.
The issue in Oregon relative to Walmart is not so much hating Walmart. It's because we have a local chain, a Fred Meyer's, which is kind of like a Walmart-y thing that's been here in the Northwest for decades and decades, and a local homebrew thing. Sure. And so what was happening is the Walmart people, of course, wanted to get into this market, and the locals just kind of resented the idea of the big muscle of Walmart coming in and pushing political buttons and other things of this nature. So that's the issue. It's not against Walmart per se or their products or the fact they create jobs and all that good stuff. It was just sort of this kind of local bad blood sort of thing. But
Is that other retail chain going to stay in business? You think, or do you think Walmart's going to?
Oh yeah, it's still very in fact, it's very viable and coexisting, as it turns out, with the WalMarts that are coming into the area. My favorite story about retail stuff: Home Depot and Lowe's, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
yeah.
here in my town, Hillsboro, Oregon, I kid you not, there's a Home Depot, and then a couple of years later, Lowe's built not across the street, right next door. They share the same parking lot. Lowe's and Home Depot. Can you believe it? So you know what you see is people walking back and forth, price checking. We need that app. We need that app.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
app,
we need.
it'll save a lot of leg room. Yeah, because just
Then they can start warring with each other. Okay, wait. It'll be like a reverse bidding game.
it could be, but I think it's the precursor. I think a lot of retail stores will latch onto this, and that could be. Of course, I think the thing is, though, the catch is that whomever in other words, it works after the fact. It doesn't price compare before. You go and you make your purchase with the confidence, knowing that you're going to get the best deal. So it doesn't matter whether you go to the Home Depot or the Lowe's. You make your purchase at either one, and then you're going to get the best deal through this app. That's how it works. So I think
on the corporate level, you always kind of imagine like men in tuxedos or men in business suits punching each other out, just Walmart or Home Depot versus Lowe's, and then come smoke break for the minimum wage workers, they're all chatting together, they're probably having lunch together.
I'm sure they are. but I tell you what, there's been many times my wife and I will go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and one of us will say, run across over there, because it's right next door. See if that widget is a couple bucks less, and call me on the phone and say, okay, go ahead and buy it at Lowe's or Home Depot, because we need the app. We need that app.
The app that would do it for you, because then you would guarantee you get the lowest price regardless of which. Now it's interesting because Home Depot does have its own brand, as Lowe's has its own brand. For example, there's some tools that is right. They're exclusive. They're only at one. So if you want to buy a Ryobi drill, for example, you can only get it at one of them. You can't get it at the other. You'll have to find a different one. So, not
a perfect world, but it could be better.
Exactly. Hey, listen, it's food for thought. But again, I just used it today, and it's. I think it could be the precursor to something where retail stores will get more involved with this, and so the consumer might wind up getting the best deal, but I think it might help brick and mortar stores to remain competitive. Yeah, it will. I think it will. Okay. Next story 7. Pantry Chic's Bluetooth ingredient dispenser is for lazy Type A bakers. Okay, all right.
yeah, and I'll say, there's many times when I fantasize and think to myself, I'm going to surprise my wife by maybe baking something or making. But when I look at recipe things, online or in a book or whatever, it just drives me nuts. A quarter teaspoon of this, and then I just go, I just forget it. So this might be the product for me because I'm definitely lazy. But anyway, Pantry Chic's Bluetooth ingredient dispenser is for lazy Type A bakers. This is from Engadget.com, a story by Dana Woolman. And again, if you have the show notes, you see the picture of the device. She says, earlier this summer, we showed you a smart kitchen scale that worked with an iPad app to make sure you're adding the right amount of each ingredient to your recipe. And by the way, digital scales are really a cool thing for people who do cook, like my daughter and my son's girlfriend and my son. They're really they're foodies, and they really are into that. And digital scales make a great gift, by the way, for anyone that that's a cook, because they can really precisely measure ingredients. But anyway, at that time, it seemed like the Internet of Things had reached its peak, jumped the shark even. Well, apparently, even that requires too much effort. Meet Pantry Chic, an airtight food canister that dispenses ingredients into a digital scale so that you never even have to break out a measuring cup. I like that idea. All told, if you are serious about your baking and seriously OCD, you could buy any number of these stackable canisters and fill each with a different ingredient, like baking soda or brown sugar. So mind you, this product is one ingredient dedicated. Think about that for a minute. So you would literally, to really make it practical, you'd have to have a basic set of ingredients and multiple of these machines. So this is a little bit kind of crazy. Then when you need one, you attach it to the digital scale, which is pre-programmed to dispense 50 ingredients, meaning it knows how to convert volume to weight. Oh, and don't worry about pushing any buttons. You can connect over Bluetooth using the Pantry Chic app at which point the machine can see what recipe you're using and know, for instance, that you need 4 cups of flour. Kind of an interesting concept, taking the whole kitchen gadgets sort of to the extreme. Actually, in a real business situation where you could afford to have multiples of these machines, it might make sense. But otherwise, it seems like kind of an overkill thing, which I think is kind of funny.
Well, it looks like a mixing bowl.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
It looks like, and I see. So you have one for each ingredient. And I see it standing there. It looks a little bit like a coffee dispenser or mixing bowl, and then it. Well, all you need is the one dispenser, and then you have the different canisters that you.
Yeah, you would have the different canisters, right? So, but you'd still have a lot of. You'd have a lot of in order.
Yeah.
A real baker is going to have multiple ingredients, unless you're just going to go for the basic stuff, flour, sugar, or whatever. Yeah. It's interesting.
Well, okay. Now, I want to skip over to this next story, which is story number 9. Shazam. Now listening on Apple's Mac. Now, what is this?
Right. Yeah, Shazam. You guys are familiar with this app, right? Where you can hold it up, you can hold your smartphone up to a stereo speaker, and it'll analyze what song is playing and so forth. Which first time I saw that demoed, I just blew my mind. It's been out for several years now, right? 4 years or more.
I use a different one. I use one called SoundHound, which I like. All those shits.
SoundHound. Okay.
SoundHound. The thing I liked about SoundHound is because not only when you're listening to the music, it'll display the lyrics to that song, and it will display the lyrics in time to the song that you're listening to. So I don't know how they do that, but whenever it's on the bouncing ball, I mean, when they're singing that words, those are the words that you see on SoundHound. It's amazing to see that. So that's what I like about it. But anyway, tell us about Shazam.
That's very cool. Well, Shazam, I think, is kind of the grandfather of these kind of apps, because I think it's been out at least 4 or 5 years. Anywho, this is a story from PC Magazine Online, story by Angela Mascaritolo. And there's a great picture here of the app. There's a link for you to learn more about it. It says, the app that helps you identify songs at a moment's notice is coming to your Mac. Shazam this week, the week of July 28, by the way, launched a brand new app for Mac computers, so you won't need to pull out your phone when you're working on your computer and want to find out the name of the song you're listening to. The app operates magically in the background, listening to music being played around the computer, identifying the songs, and creating a playlist as it goes. That's kind of cool, creating a playlist as you go. Besides just naming your new favorite jams, the app lets you access lyrics, so there's your lyrics, music, although it doesn't sound like it does what you're talking about, with the kind of simultaneous display. That's very compelling.
It is.
So again, the app lets you access lyrics, music videos, and iTunes listings with a single click. You can also easily share your favorite songs on social media right from the app. The new Shazam app is available for free in the Mac App Store now. Meanwhile, iPhone users will soon be able to more quickly and easily identify music with Shazam as well. Apple's iOS 8, which is slated to arrive this fall, adds Shazam integration, letting Siri identify music around you and offer up a choice to purchase it via iTunes. That's kind of interesting. This means you'll no longer have to go through the trouble of unlocking your phone and opening the Shazam app. You can simply activate Siri, ask something like, what song is this? And voila, you'll be able to find out the song. And if you want, of course, Apple would love this, purchase it through iTunes. So that's kind of cool.
It is very cool. I would think it's very cool. Yeah, the reason I found that, though, the thing with the SoundHound, which is where you actually I was I went to it was in a movie theater. I was in a movie theater, and before the movie, how the movie starts, they'll dim the light, Not the where they dim them all when you're watching previews, but maybe 15, 20 minutes, half an hour before the movie starts, they'll be playing these commercials, and they'll play some, and then they'll play some music or something. So I was listening to, they were sampling some music, and I was sitting there, and I was holding up my phone, and I was holding it in landscape, and I was watching the words go along because I was listening to the music and I was watching the words. And somebody behind me, so I says, "What is that?" I said, "How is that happening?" I said, "Yeah, it's sound out. It's following. I'm getting to see what the words are, so I can hear what because I couldn't understand the words too clearly." And it was saying, he says, "That's amazing." I said, "Yeah, it's free. You can download it." So that was it. So
very cool.
I would feel so violated. Someone's watching my smartphone. What?
Well, it's really big letters. I mean, the way it does it, you actually see the words going from from left to right, and it's actually displaying the words as the music is playing. So it's in perfect sync with it, So there it was, That was it.
Ben, I'd feel violated if the app were reading my mind and displaying my thoughts. That's violation.
Actually, I wouldn't feel violated. I think everyone else would feel violated if they were reading that, but that's another story.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I want to go this next story here. Now, anybody who's watched the original Star Wars knows the famous scene. Princess Leia is "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope." That was when the very first one. Evidently, according to this story, floating 3D video shows Star Wars holograms are closer than we may think. This is interesting.
Yeah. A story from Engadget.com by Steve Dent. And again, there's a great image from the show notes you can take a look at, and it sounds pretty cool. It says, "Thanks to Princess Leia's famous Star Wars plea, true holograms rank just behind flying cars as the tech we want, nay deserve to have in our lifetimes. And 2-pack style film flam won't cut it."
Yeah.
Now, and I don't know do you know what they're referring to? The 2-pack dash style.
Yeah, Tupac.
Tupac.
The rapper with
Tupac. The rapper. Got it.
Right, and they actually had him appear on stage as a hologram. People
That's right.
After his death, and that kind of freaked people out. So that's what it's referring to. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you. You see, you're hip, you're with it, you're groovy, and always helpful.
See that, Ben?
Which is exactly what I can just hear my son and daughter going, "Dad, come on, that's Tupac. Get with the program." Okay, now an exhibition from artists Chris Helson and Sarah Jackett's, whimsically called "Help Me, Obi," projects objects as large as 30 centimeters or 12 inches in space, visible from any angle in the room. The subjects include a newborn baby and NASA's Voyager 1 space probe, which is what's shown in the image in our show notes here. The creators are quick to point out that the machine doesn't create a true hologram, but rather a 360-degree video object. But if you get the same effect, I think that's cool, right? We take that to mean that it's more like a floating 3D movie that looks the same from any angle rather than a true holographic object you can study from all sides. Still very interesting. Since they're seeking a patent, Helson and Jackett's are coy to exactly see how it works, but say that there's nothing else quite like it that they know of. And if you're in Edinburgh, Scotland, area between July 31st and August the 30th, so there's still time, you can judge for yourself at the Alt-W exhibition. So yeah, Ben, what were you were going to make a comment, and I'm interested in what you thought.
We can't hear you, Ben. You're muted.
Oh, hi. Yeah, the 3D 360-degree video object. So that means, like, if you had, like a box, you couldn't walk around to the other side of the box and see what was, behind it.
No.
From every angle, it would be the same view.
That's what they're saying. It's the same from every angle.
Okay.
You don't have a true perspective.
Yeah.
You walk around the perspective. No, you don't get that with this.
Okay.
But still, I think it would be. I would just get it just to play the Princess Leia thing. Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're only.
Of course, that's important.
I just had that I'd have that playing in my living room over and over and over again.
I don't know if you could get that to play on your smartphone, hovering above your smartphone, and you could get an app like that to read off your grocery list. Oh my God, that would be amazing.
It'll happen. It's just a matter of time.
All right, listen, we're at the bottom of the hour, and we're going to continue on. Some of the other things we're going to be talking about is a Black Diamond from Yantouch, which is an amazing portable wireless Bluetooth speaker. We'll be talking about that. Also, we're going to talk about the Star 21. This is a fitness band that turns training into a game. Also, some other stories we're going to be talking about with Ralph Bond is the Nanoleaf Blue that lets you dim your lights using a normal wall switch. This is really cool technology. And also something else other than the Oculus Rift. We're going to be talking about stories and more. This is the Computer America Show. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number. 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hello, friends of exercise. This is Marty Winston for Computer America with a news tips bulletin review of the Withings Pulse O2. We talked earlier about the Withings blood pressure monitor and the app on either iOS or Android 4 or later devices. The same app also collects information from their Pulse O2 product. When we got it, it looked like a lot of pieces just to measure pulse rate and blood oxygen level, but that quickly sorted out. The main piece, the active module, comes with a strap for wearing on your wrist, a clip for wearing on your clothes, and a charging cable, so the collection is more about adding dexterity than adding complexity. The misleading first impression continued with the name, but the happy result is that there's even more here than the name implies, starting with a pedometer. The module's face displays a lot of interesting data that the app can record, but we're still leaving out a level of usefulness. If your smartphone is with you as you work out, it also tracks running, elevation, distance, and calories. Bottom line, if you're somebody who, when you burn, yearn for more data, the Withings Pulse O2 activity tracker is no slacker. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Ralph Bond joins us. That was Marty Winston with our News Tips Bulletin Review of the Week. Last time you'll hear that one, and last time you'll hear either one of them this week, and we'll get new ones later. Yeah.
We're gonna have a new one next Monday. We'll have two new ones exactly. Okay.
Exactly. And but before we get back to the news stories and and move on to the one right after the Help Me Obi-Wan, it is we have a show reminder Craig, what are you calling it, by the way, now? I keep wanting to call it Show Reminder.
Yeah, a Show Reminder winner of the week.
Okay.
It's our Show Reminder winner of the week. We have that every Friday. We do that. And so now I guess we'll have Ralph do the digital drums again.
I'm ready.
All right, and we'll announce the winner. You see, he does that very, very well.
See, we have webcams now, so we know it really is digital.
And this week's Show Reminder winner is Pamela Sloss. Pamela Sloss, congratulations, you're this week's Show Reminder winner. Pamela wins the Logitech Wireless Rechargeable Touchpad T650, valued at $79.99, $80. Beautiful glass, touch-sensitive touchpad. She gets it. She wins it. Congratulations, Pamela. And again, head over to computeramerica.com, and who knows, you can be just as lucky as Pamela and win it next week, because we're going to give away another one on next Friday's show. Okay. All right. So we're continuing on with Ralph Bond, and we're in the last half hour of the show. And again, you can follow along from our show notes page at computeramerica.com. And now I want to do this story 11, the Yantouch Black Diamond Plus, BD Plus, portable wireless Bluetooth speaker.
I picked this up from a press release, and then I also found it out there on Amazon.com. We've got the link in the show notes where you can check this thing out. I think it's kind of fascinating to see the unending array of Bluetooth speakers that are out there, isn't it? I mean, it blows my mind.
Yeah, but it's pretty to look at. And it changes.
It's got pretty colors.
It looks like a geodesic dome. It looks like a geodesic dome, doesn't it?
It does, and there's this whole genre in this product category of lights, effects, and all this kind of stuff. Pretty trippy. And so anyway, here's the story. You can see the image on the show notes. You can see the image of the remote control and so forth. But let me give you some of the specs on this. It says the Diamond Plus is a high-quality, all-in-one entertainment system that features a synchronized multicolor galaxy light show with 16 million colors that shine like a real diamond to create an instant party in a box with disco lighting that pulsates to the beat of music. Every time I see this kind of stuff, I think to myself, wouldn't it have been great if you could teletransport yourself back to the disco era with some of this technology? Can you imagine going into a disco? Ben, you were probably not even born at the time, but nonetheless, going back into a disco, imagine if you could time travel, pull out your smartphone, Bluetooth connected to this kind of thing, and blow people's minds. Anyway, I digress. What it is just a super high-tech wireless Bluetooth disco ball kind of like thing is what we've got going on with this product. Anyway, the price is $149. The Bluetooth speaker features patent-pending technologies, including spherical, resonant, and other technologies that fill the party with booming, crystal-clear sound for planetarium-like music show magic. You know, all I can think about are my cousins to the north in the state of Washington who have legalized marijuana, and those folks out where Charles is in Colorado, and Oregon. We're going to vote on it this November, and here we go. I think there'll be more and more need for these products.
I think so.
If these products could also dispense bad-for-you snacks after you're enjoying the lights and then go, oh, I'm hungry now, man. Anyway, I digress. The Diamond Plus provides a uniquely designed neodymium. Do you know how to say that one?
Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Super magnet speaker for distortion-free music with right and left woofer tubes on the sides of the device, and a bass resonant tube that pumps up the bass with 300% sound boost for vibrant music. 300% boost relative to what? That's a little question I'd ask. The Diamond Plus. Go ahead.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Craig?
I said that's 300% over what it would have if it didn't have it, obviously. Okay.
Well, that's sort of like Spinal Tap saying, but mine goes to 11. I don't got. What does it mean? The Diamond Plus includes a free bedtime social. Wait a minute. iOS and Android app with light music, remote control, waking, recording, and sleeping functions. Oh yeah, I want this in my bedroom. The app lets your smartphone work as a remote control and can create a natural sunrise light. Okay, that might be kind of cool. And music experience with a recorded message such as "Happy Birthday," "Time to Wake Up, Fool," etc., with rising soft music with bird sounds and no jarring loud alarm to wake you up. Okay, I get it. That's kind of cool. So it has many, many functions all in one thing.
I would have it play also Sprech Zarathustra, in the morning.
I don't know what that is.
Ta-da! Doom, 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 doom. Have the sunlight come up.
Oh, I gotcha.
Time to wake up.
Oh, no, it's fun. But again, it is astonishing to me how in Taiwan and China, these guys are all just trying to figure out new ways to make garish disco ball things wireless and multifunction.
I would buy one of these. I think I would buy one of these.
Great conversation piece.
Yeah,
if you live in Washington or Colorado.
Yeah. I think it would fit perfectly into the home that we live in. I think it would be perfect. Exactly.
Along with your burger phone.
Yes. Yeah, but
not every iPhone edition needs to solve, how healthy are you, or do I have this or this. Some are just silly, and I think you might have found one of the sillier ones this month.
Yeah, I still think it's cool. I think it looks really cool. Okay, we're going down to story 14. The Nanoleaf Bloom lets you dim your lights using a normal wall switch. Now, how does this work?
Yes, that immediately caught my eye, as it did you. This is from PocketLint.com, which is a great website from the UK. If you want to get kind of the interesting British point of view on technology, pocket-lint.com. A story by Luke Edwards. I've read lots and lots of his stories. Always fun. The picture in the show notes really gives you an idea of what this curious light fixture, this bulb, if you will, looks like. Nanoleaf Bloom, it's called. So it says, if you could add dimming to your lights without having to wire in a new dimmer switch, which I've done many times, and that sometimes can be a good experience and sometimes not so great. You would, right? And again, if you could do this without having to rewire, would you do it? And answer for me is yes. I think it'd be great. That's what Nanoleaf believes, and it's why it has made the Bloom light bulb, which can be dimmed using a normal light switch. I'm still going, what? Nanoleaf, better known for its super low power LED bulbs, is back with an improved model in its Bloom bulb. It can be screwed into your normal light socket and controlled from the switch. Should you want to dim, flick the switch on to get it to fade up, then quickly turn it off and on when it's at its desired brightness to hold it there.
Okay.
Now, so that might be a little more articulation than my feeble mind can handle, but it'd be fun to play with and see how this works out. Simple, but a very clever way to make a normal switch a dimmer. The bulb itself is a 10-watt low-power type that's equivalent to a 75-watt standard bulb, so plenty bright at 1200 lumens and 3000 K. Dimming the light to 50% brightness will mean the bulb just uses 2.6 watts of power, saving you money. The Bloom also has a night mode, which uses just 0.5 watts of power for a sleep-friendly 5% brightness. And Nanoleaf says the Bloom will last you 30,000 hours. That's 27 years when used 3 hours a day. The Nanoleaf Bloom is currently on Kickstarter, smashing its goal, so they're raising funding for this thing, with a shipping date set for December, and you can order yours now for $40. And by the way, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, I just came back from a trip, 10 days in Ireland. Boy, everywhere they possibly could, I saw LED light fixtures, right? That's they're just crazy about trying to save energy in obviously a very high-cost energy environment like Ireland and Europe and so on. And I'm sure this kind of product would be popular there. But I think it'd be a blast to try something out like this and just see how it works. It seems like an impossible thing to just screw this into a normal light fixture and just use a normal light switch to create a dimmer. But they claim that that's what they've accomplished with this product. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. It looks very interesting. Now I have to. This next story here, they're going to story 16. Makes me
16. Okay.
Yeah, because I was talking about how I was in the movie, the music and everything, and but it was not during the movie. It was it was like 20 minutes before the movie started, and they were just playing music and having some on the screen. Anyway, but this is an app. I don't know if this is necessary, that dims your phone so that other concert goers won't hate you. I don't know if dimming your phone is going to even help. I know you can dim your phone right now, I think, without the help of an app, but according to this, well, you tell us about this.
Well, yeah, because you could go into in my iPhone, I could go into the settings, right? Yeah. So press settings, then go in the brightness up and just toggle the brightness as I wish.
But this is
anyway.
Yeah, they're showing it on an iPhone, so maybe there's something else we're missing.
Yeah, here we go. So this is from Gizmodo, story by Andrew Lizweski, and they show the image here shows you the app in action, which is a little, kind of hard to see in a sense. But it says, look at any concert photo taken sometime after cell phones started including built-in cameras, and you'll see a sea of glowing screens that end up distracting from what's happening on stage. Mm-hmm. So, the next time you're at a concert, be courteous to your fellow attendees with this alternative iOS camera app that keeps your smartphone's display dim when you are shooting. So when you're shooting a video or taking a picture, I presume, but I'm going to guess video, it will automatically dim your screen. Because it's dimmed screen also makes it harder to see on screen controls. The KIMD, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, KIMD app also simplifies how you snap pictures by just requiring you to tap the screen anywhere to capture a photo. I do like that. Or hold for 3 seconds to record a video. Also like that as well. The free app also disables your smartphone's camera flash, keeps the screen dimmed when you load up other apps until your iPhone goes on standby, and hopefully occasionally reminds you to just put your stupid phone away and enjoy the show you paid for at the concert. So iTunes app, a store via Petapixel is how you get this. Let's see, I don't think they have a price on this.
It's interesting because I saw there was an ad for a Samsung phone, and it had a feature I thought was really kind of cool. It says, if you want to take a picture, when you're looking at the image on the screen, just tap anywhere on the screen, you take the picture. And I said, that's actually kind of clever, because right now with the iPhone, you have to hit the button, or you have to press the little button on the side. This sort of gives your phone that ability. You're looking at something and you hit anywhere on the screen, and it takes a picture. That's actually kind of nice. So maybe
I'll tell you what, that's the thing that makes me want to go and check this app out. Not so much the dimming of the screen, which is fine, well and good. But again, we all three of us, my wife, my daughter, and I in Ireland, used our iPhones as our primary way of capturing videos and pictures of our trip. And there were countless times when I'd have to hold up something and kind of try to, where's the place to press on the, and I would love just to have been able to touch anywhere on the screen and capture an image. It would have made it much more spontaneous.
Fun fact, not sure if it's an iOS feature or if it's an iPhone 5S feature, but did you know if you press any button on the side, it takes a picture?
Yeah. I did do the button part, but it would just be nice it's hard to describe, because sometimes when you're holding it the way, it just would be nice just to just do that instead of have to mess with hitting the little target on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I meant like the plus and minus button on the side, you press those and it takes a picture. But yeah, I mean, definitely can see, and I actually went to the App Store because I was figuring, just like you guys were saying earlier, doesn't the iOS already do this? They're showing it on iPhone. Can't you already dim it? Can't you already do this? And apparently, just from the few reviews that I'm reading, it's getting actually pretty good reviews. And people are like, this is finally an app that's not about you. It's about, concern for other people. So, and it works great.
You can push it. You can't push any button, I think, Ben. It's only the plus button that acts as a shutter. If you push the minus.
Mine works minus, too.
Well, maybe they made a change because it used to be only the plus button would do the shutter. I haven't tested that in a long time, so they may have changed it. Initially, it was only the plus button. Okay.
Yeah, minus 2. And no, but yeah, they said this app is an app for other people, not just for you. So.
Does it have a price shown for it, Ben? Is there a fee for it?
It doesn't. It doesn't show a price for it at all.
Wait, kind of amazed if it's free.
I'm gonna guess
like
it's
a
free.
99-cent special or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna guess it's free for right now because they aren't showing a price for it. So it's free until you find the price.
It's free until you find the price. Okay.
Or until Walmart sends you a credit for it because hey, we found it cheaper. It's free.
There you go.
Okay, let's do this story 18.
And by the way, it is free.
It's free.
Complete confirmation.
It is free. Okay.
Complete confirmation is free.
Driver assist system saves lives and money. This looks really interesting.
Yeah, this is from PC Magazine Online, story by Doug Newcomb, and the image here shows a fellow in a car and so forth. It says, passive safety features have been a huge success in reducing deaths and injuries in car accidents. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration estimates, for example, that seatbelts saved close to 150,000 lives between 1975 and 2001, and the airbag saved more than 8,000 lives from 1987 to 2001. I would have thought much more, by the way, but anyway. Yeah. But as effective as passive safety systems have been, they only reduce the chance that drivers and passengers will be killed or seriously injured after an accident occurs. The next phase of auto safety technology, driver assistance systems that issue audible and visual warnings that can even take over steering and braking, are designed to prevent accidents before they happen. So that's the big thing now in car safety technologies. Can we prevent something bad from happening? So we've all seen the television commercials where some car has this sensor that'll start auto braking for you if it senses an object coming up in your front, and rear assist cameras and all these kinds of things, right? Mm-hmm. Goes on to say, though, according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, if all passenger vehicles were equipped with 4 driver assist systems, lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, forward collision warning, and adaptive headlights, approximately 1 in 3 fatal crashes and 1 out of 5 injury crashes potentially could be prevented or the damage mitigated, and as many as 1.9 million crashes could be prevented or mitigated each year. So that's significant. So I love this story from a trend point of view. It goes on to say driver assist systems originally debuted on high-priced cars, but are now becoming available on more and more lower-cost vehicles, such as the new Mazda 3 and the latest Subaru models with the EyeSight option. And salute to Mazda. They've been really kind of on the edge of this, and apparently Subaru too, but I'm particularly aware of the Mazda work in this area. And they're also preventing more types of accidents. For example, Volvo is adding several new driver assists to the all-new XC90 crossover vehicle that's due out later this year, including one that expands the company's city safety suite of innovative accident prevention technology. So, trend, folks, more and more of the preventative stuff in addition to the old classic standbys like seatbelts, and seeing this coming down into lower cost model cars. This is something you want to watch for car technology over the next several years. I think it's very exciting and very encouraging.
You can hear the chants all over the country as we were talking about the story from all the motorcycle riders saying, "Yes, we love that." less accidents with motorcycles who don't see us in their blind spots.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I wanted to go back up to the story at 13, and because we were talking, looks like we're talking about, we have 4G now in the U.S. and 4G LTE. Evidently, the next technology is going to be 5G, and this is an interesting story here. They're saying that you can download a film to your mobile device in under 1 second using 5G in London by 2020.
Yeah, great trend piece. Also from PocketLint.com, the UK website I was telling you about that I really highly recommend. It's a lot of fun to visit. And the story says, Mayor Boris Johnson, Mayor of London, has announced that London will be one of the world's first cities to use 5G mobile internet by 2020. The super fast data connection will mean users with a compatible phone, of course, are able to download an entire film, and I presume they mean a feature-length film, right? At least 90 minutes, in a single second?
Yeah.
What? Mayor Johnson has said London will be working with the University of Surrey to develop the infrastructure for this new 5G network. The plan also takes into account areas with poorer connections, with plans to bring better coverage to all. But there will also be more information to tenants renting or buying, so they'll be aware of the coverage that they're getting. Mayor Johnson said London is earning a reputation for being a tech capital of Europe, and that is why we need to ensure every Londoner is able to access the very best digital connectivity. Rapidly improving the connectivity of this great city is a key part of, and I just lost my place here, key part of getting the coverage, key part of the infrastructure plan for London. And London, of course, is such an enormously important world economic center, too. It all kind of fits together. EE's principal network architect Professor Andy Sutton believes that the aim of 5G is to become invisible. It should be a technology that's just there, like electricity. It will enable device manufacturers to realize the Internet of Things, as it will always be on and able to be tapped without regionalization. So a great trend story and something to think about, and it still kind of blows my mind that you could download a feature-length film in a second, but wouldn't that transform everything? And think about it carrying live video streams, live television and other things of this nature too, with that kind of capacity would be, or speed capability would be transformative.
All right, I want to do this last story because I don't even know if we have time to do one more story. I don't know. Why don't you tell us a little bit what's going on with you now that you're back? And I understand, with the Autodesk, I understand that you've got a little promotion too. You've changed your job title with Autodesk.
No, I'm still doing my thing. I'm still part of the team that's the AEC, the Architecture, Engineering, Construction, and Civil Infrastructure side of the thing. The change for me is I've been on sabbatical. Yay! So Autodesk for full-time employees, Autodesk, amazingly. Get a load of this. Every 4 years, as a regular employee, you're eligible for a 6-week sabbatical. Unbelievable. Now, when I worked for Intel, also a wonderful company, it was every 7 years would be eligible for a sabbatical. But Autodesk is just amazing. So I've been on this great sabbatical. I've been going through the whole process, talking about technology. At home here, I spent the entire day weeding through years and years and years worth of backing up old home PCs, family photos, all kinds of stuff on CDs, right? I mean, this is like, I'm talking about some material that's many years old. Going through now and saving things, tossing stuff, putting it all on the hard drive. My goal, by the way, is to get all the family photos and all the family videos. Of course, some of the videos are on tape, get them digitized, which I've already begun that process over the last several years. My goal, guys, by the way, and see what you think of this, is to get everything on high-capacity SD cards and put a set in the safe deposit box, a set into the hands of my daughter and son, and a set for us to have here at home. So the combination of that plus the safe deposit box means the family history photos are all
exactly. You're
Yeah.
all set. Exactly. That is
That's
good.
my bucket list goal as far as that part of my life goes, is to get all the family memories digitized and on little, because SD cards, guys, gosh, you can get a 64 gig SD card now for very modest price, right?
Yeah. Hey, Ben, how long of a sabbatical do you get for working for Computer America?
He's on it now, isn't he?
He's on it now. I think it is exactly.
I had Monday off.
Because all those perks.
90 seconds.
Hey, Ralph,
good.
I want to thank you so much for being with us here tonight on the Computer America Show. Again, it's always a pleasure having you here, and I know we'll catch you next month back. We're going to be back on the second Friday of each month, so that's September the 12th. You'll be back with fun stories, and and looking forward to having you here. Now, coming up on tomorrow night's show, not tomorrow night's, Monday night's show, we're going to have an attorney. He's the founder of the law offices of Ryan P. Morrison.
60 seconds.
He is going to be talking about video game law. Video game law. I didn't know they had laws for video games, but evidently video game law in the first hour. That's going to be really interesting. And he's evidently going to bring up some pointers that probably we never even thought about. So he's going to be on for the first hour, video game law. And then the second hour, of course, computer and technology news, brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Hey, the weekend is upon us. Go out. Go see a movie. Catch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay. Or The Giver.
Or The Giver. Yeah, exactly, and have a good time, and we'll see you on Monday night. So until Monday night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never
10
becomes
seconds.
floppy. We'll see you Monday night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, and we're out, but we're still on our Google Hangouts. To all of our friends out there, thanks for watching us on our Google Hangouts. And again, congratulations to Otherworld Computing for winning that Stevie Award. That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see all of you on Monday night when we talk about video game law with an attorney who specializes in video game law.
Oh, really? There's a funny story that my brother and Chris, our booking personnel, told me about it when they were doing the sound check for him. Right before he, so he could come on the show. When he was doing the sound check for him, he sounded awful. He just sounded downright awful. And he's like, oh, I just bought this new headset. I love it. It's easy to wear, and I hear it has great sound quality. And he just sounded terrible.
Yeah.
You know what happened?
What happened?
He had a Bluetooth microphone that was locked away in his desk drawer.
Oh
that
my
was
God!
Still the set, and that was still the one that he was still using. Like he didn't change the microphone over. And the funny thing is, like, it doesn't sound like you have the right input. You're gonna want to change it to your headset microphone. And then he's like, "Oh my gosh, that was it! Oh no!" And like he started freaking out. And we're like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I was just on the phone, or I was at a Skype meeting with a client, and it was like that the entire time."
Oh no! Oh my God!
So we got that worked out, though. He should be sounding good on Monday.
There you go. All right. Well, we're gonna quit the Hangouts again. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you on Monday night. So say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ralph, just a second, Ralph.